right, let's get into it. I'm going to be, well, I mean, first of all, I'm testing my new stream setup here at Plebdevs. A little bit better. New and upgraded. I'm in the code this time, or I'm going to be in the code. But yeah, so I'm building a new portfolio website, and I kind of have the basic style and a lot of the look and feel in place, all the functionality. And I thought what would be interesting is showing you like two, I guess, additional features that I want to add is lightning address and then NIPO 5, which I'm going to be able to do basically for free with Next.js. So this is something I've done in the past with a few workshops, but we'll do it once again. And I figured this would be a good excuse to test things out. What's up? Should have all the chats linked up. Oh yeah, so let's get into it. So Portfolio is a Next.js app. Mostly filled it in with some of my information here. There's still some lorem ipsum, but it's pretty cool. I got this from a template, from a Next.js template that I found online, just Googling. And I kind of just stripped it clean, removed everything I didn't want, and I'm gonna add some cool new custom things here. Got the Stash IPA tonight. Okay, so lightning address. So basically what this is going to involve is just connecting, getting the host for my lightning node, and then I need what's called an admin macaroon. Sorry, an invoice macaroon actually. And this is going to basically be a permissions token that I can use to create invoices on my node. And then all we have to do is build out the simple structure of a lightning address endpoint from there. And I'm actually going to be referencing my old code from a previous workshop. So this was the lightning address workshop. Here we go. Or Next Lightning Address is the original project here. So I'll probably be referencing this. And it's mainly just going to be involving building out a few structured endpoints. I might have to do some cores, some gross core shit too, but hopefully not. And so, do I want to get right into this? I think so. So I'm going to start with the API structure side. So the API, there's a few more endpoints in here than we actually need. I'm going to drop this music here. Let me know if volume and levels sound weird or anything. If my voice is too loud. Okay, so if I remember how I do it, basically this lnd.js file, this is going to have the functions that are going to call my node directly, and the lnurlp and the callback, this is what's actually a part of the lightning address spec. So we can actually go to lightningaddress.com and read documentation. Yeah, so I've previously also done an LNURL workshop and an LNURL auth and LNURL pay. If you don't know, lightning address is just a spec that's built on top of LNURL, basically. I mean, it basically is LNURL pay. And yeah, so we have the lightning address, in this case, it's gonna be Austin at bitcoinpleb.dev. And the wallet is gonna expect to be able to hit this endpoint, well-known LNURLP and username. And that endpoint will give them a callback URL, which then they'll call to actually get the invoice with an amount. I know that additional step is like a little bit confusing sometimes, but it's pretty simple enough. So let's get into it. So I'm going to need an lnd.js, lnurlp, and a callback. Pages API. There's already a blog and portfolio here. Folder callback. URLP. And each of these are going to have a slug.js in them. And that's basically just going to be a placeholder. So like in the case of LNURLP, we don't know what the user's username will be on their Lightning address, slug.js. So this will basically give us a placeholder that we can fill in with whatever their username is. So callback here, slug.js. So this is all gonna have a pretty similar structure. And I wonder if I'm gonna need to do this boring shit and set up some middleware. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So I have utils middleware here. Cores is basically the cross-origin resource sharing. It's a very boring thing that you kind of need to deal with when you're sending and receiving data in web apps. And so I just want to make it to where any wallet or any app will be able to hit my LNURL endpoints. Because obviously I want to give them an invoice if they are down to pay it. So I'm going to copy this. So this is utils middleware. So let's set this aside in here. Components. Utils. There already is utils. Oh, sweet. Middleware. Okay, and I'll need to install cores here. Oh no. PMI cores cannot resolve. With -- force? I wouldn't dare. This will wreck me. Okay, so React 18.1. But we need a lower version of React. I don't understand. Let's see what version of React we have. 18.1. And they want 17.02. I don't totally understand. Let's ask ChatGPT. First bug. Explain this here. But yeah, either way, we can still get this in place. So we have cores in there, and I'll go back to callback and put this in. API callback slug. Okay, let's see if we can figure out what this error is. So conflict, custom cursor add. Let's do the legacy tier pure debs command. I'll just ignore it for right now. I don't know what custom cursor react. Like, I'm installing cores. So what the fuck is that? Oh, this is a library actually that came in the portfolio and shouldn't even be using it. So yeah, we'll ignore that. So npmi cores, legacy pure debs. Yo, what's up, Jack? Thanks, man. I like to program to metal sometimes, but it's not always the best viewer experience. Death metal, particularly. It's a good vibe. Okay, cool. We fixed that by ignoring it. So back to Lightning address. So this is the callback endpoint. So this is just an API handler right here, and we're running our cores middleware just to accept. You know, let's see exactly what it says. It says accept get, head, and post to any of our endpoints, which that will be fine. We actually don't even need post in here. Do we need post? No, it's just two different get requests, but one of them has a query parameter. So I'm actually going to remove post. We don't need that either. Boom. So that's just going to allow all the origins. And so right here, we're pulling the slug out of the query, and it's saying Bitcoin Plebdev. It's looking for that explicitly. I'm gonna update this to Austin, because what this is looking for is, back to our diagram here, this username, basically, username at domain.com. So this username, in my case, I'm only building this Lightning address server for myself, so it's just going to be Austin. Sweet. So some other stuff here. We have to do something to create a description hash. This is basically the part where we prove to the person that's trying to pay us that what we presented to them is in fact what they're paying. They're actually paying us. They're not getting some man in the middle attack kind of invoice. So that's part of what the description hash is about. Obviously, in the Plebdevs Lightning address workshop, we go over this in much more detail. But so just gonna make sure that the value is greater than 1 sat. We have to convert millisatoshis to satoshis. This is where we call LND. Yep, cool. So that is callback. Let's do LNURLP now. So this will be the first endpoint that our users will hit when they're trying to pay us. And this is where we'll send back this structured object that's defined in the spec. So once again, this says Bitcoin Plebdev. I'm gonna update it to Austin. Obviously, like if you were running a Lightning address server for other users, you would just remove this. Like you would just take in the slug, you would make, find it in your database or wherever you're storing it, and kind of do it that way. Okay, so sample LN address endpoint. I'm gonna update this metadata. This metadata is actually what gets hashed for our description hash for our invoice. Austin's P endpoint. Cheers. And I'll update this over here. Cool. So those are basically the 2 endpoints that the user will be interacting with for the Lightning address spec. But now we need one for LND, and then we're going to fill in our environment variables here after that. So lnd.js. API file lnd.js. Sweet. Do we want to use this? We remove this in production, disable SSL verification for the LND cert locally. Okay, so we don't need to worry about that. No HTTPS agent. Get out of here. Garbage. Oh, I need Axios as well. npmi Axios. Sweet. So all this is going to do. So all this is going to do is call our LND node directly. It's going to call the HTTP interface of our LND node. We're passing in value for the value of an invoice, and then description hash, which we can pass into like explicitly create an invoice with this exact description hash. And that's it. That's all we have to pass in. This LND macaroon, that's kind of our authentication that we're going to put into the header. To authenticate with our own node. And of course, we're only going to need invoice authentication. So only authentication to pay the node. This isn't actually going to put our node at risk of being like robbed or something if this macaroon gets doxed. And yeah, at that point we return this. So that's cool. So let's fill in these environment variables. So I'm going to need LND host, LND macaroon. Backend URL, that's one we can do now. Let's create a .env. Backend URL. How do we use this? So it's just the root origin. So localhost 3000, cool. That's what we'll have right here while we're just in development. And are we gonna have to ngrok this? Yeah, we will have to ngrok this, damn. If I want to try it locally. So basically what I'm thinking about right now, if I want to test this with the real Lightning wallet, the real Lightning wallet can't reach my local host. So I'll need to get a globally available host, which I can either do by using a really cool tool called ngrok, or I can just like actually deploy it. I might just like rip it in deployment and try it that way, because no one's looking at our website yet. So cool. We'll just keep that like this for right now. Back in URL, we're gonna have lnd host equals something, and lnd macaroon equals something. Okay, so now I'm using voltage for my lnd node, so I'm gonna go grab my host and my macaroon from there and try not to dox my secrets. So we can go to voltage.cloud. Sweet, this is the node. Need to unlock it. And, oh, I need to update. I'll do that later. So everything you need to connect, whether you're connecting it to another app or you're trying to connect directly with your own node with your own app that you're building, it's gonna be found here in the Connect tab. I'm gonna drag my window over though, because I don't want to dox my secrets here. So we go Connect tab and go to manual. And so here's my actual host, which I can dox this, that's fine. And looking for invoice macaroon. So there's a button here to bake invoice macaroon. And I want it to be hex. Copy that. Save it here and save. And yeah, it doesn't matter if you all see that either, because that's just an invoice macaroon. Sweet, okay, done with that. Of course, I'll need those values for my deployment as well. So there's one other thing that we're missing here to basically fit this exact structure of the .well-known LNURLP. So by default, Next.js will try and route all of our API endpoints to /API. So we need to do what's called a rewrite to explicitly rewrite our LNURLP endpoint to where it resolves to this endpoint. I know, kind of weird, kind of annoying, but that's fine. But it has to be a standard, you know, so you have to agree on some standard. So I can do this in nextconfig.js. We see here rewrites. I'm just gonna copy this whole thing because I don't think I have anything in my current next config. Nope, it's default. Cool. So this is basically taking our existing destination of API LNURLP and slug and rewriting it to this source ./well-known LNURLP slug, where the slug is the username. And yeah, we see that should work according to the spec. So we'll find out. So I added that, save, and I think we have about everything here we need. All right, my variables, we've got our endpoints, LND, we're calling our own node, and we're looking out for the username of Austin. Oh, I need to fix this callback. Look at this callback. It says Bitcoin Plebdev. I'm gonna put callback Austin. Sweet, that looks good. Okay, let's push this and let's deploy it. I have a lot of changes here. Ooh, I wonder if we should take care of this package issue first before we deploy. I know, how annoying. So it was this dumbass package that I'm not even using. React syntax highlighter, was that it? Custom cursor React. Don't need that shit. Save, and let's get rid of package log.json. And node modules. Make sure we didn't break everything. Y'all hear these sound effects? I got these sound effects now. You hear that? Is that fire? Okay, this is looking like it's probably gonna work. Let me make sure I have this set up on my Vercel. Okay. Yeah, I got hella projects here. Okay, it worked. So, good status. Got all of that. Ooh, I need to add a git ignore. I already have one. Need to add .env. Why do they never add .env by default to a git ignore? Like, what else do you think I want to ignore? .env. Like, not my secrets. Shim. Ellen. Address? Question mark. Oh, I need to get out of everything. Let's find this repo. I forgot what I called it. Bitcoin pleb.dev. Sweet. Let's connect this to Vercel. Okay, environment variables. Backend URL. I don't know what this is going to end up being called, because they assign you a default domain. So let's just leave that for right now. We'll do lnd_host. LND macaroon. Do I need to put HTTPS at the beginning of this? I think I do. LND host. Yeah, I need to have HTTPS // Glad I caught that. looks good. Let's deploy it like this. We'll see what the URL is, and then we'll add that in. Yo, Vercel is literally one of my favorite platforms. So good for deploying on. And they're adding more just like server-side stuff. They already have server-side functions. And you get a lot of that stuff for free. Like basically like with a trial amount, but a trial amount so large that you can kind of run really small free projects for quite a long time on here. And yeah, the serverless functions, they work great. They work great for stuff like lighting address. So can't resolve custom cursor in /Vercel. Is it using a cache? Something is cached in here. It's /Vercel. God damn, that stupid package. Let's see if there's any instances of this that we can find in our repo. Maybe that will tell us. Oh no, I'm importing it right here. That's not good. And there's something in the dist. So let's get rid of that. Is there a dist in here? And it's cursor. Custom cursor. I'm just gonna delete this whole damn folder. Okay, there we go. Styles, domain. I don't see a dist here. Next, posts. Okay. Let's try that. What is this project's URL going to be? I still need to check that. Oh, I guess it hasn't successfully deployed yet, so it hasn't been assigned one. Can't resolve .sh cursor. Is there an import? Yeah. Ooh. 4 places. Okay. Is it being used? Custom cursor. Yeah, it is. All right, there we go. Get rid of that garbage. Remove all instances of custom cursor. right, let's see what we got. The deployment can take a few tries. That's fine, but I want this Lightning address to work on the first time. I'm gonna try and pay myself through Stacker News, I suppose. Can't resolve @/util/middleware. Okay, so that's probably a custom pathing that is not supported. So that's fine, that's an easy fix. So @/util/middleware. Slash doesn't put us anywhere? No. No, that's slash. Slash. Util/middleware. And this one should be the same. LNURL-P. Let's see what we got. Is it a bit too much to have a Lightning address on my portfolio? Is that a bit much? Resume experience map. It's not exported from. Interesting. It's not exported from data. Imported as resume. So I'm having issues with the data here in the deployment, but it did work. I probably need to push that data folder up somewhere. Okay, let's look at my overall. What is my main? Bitcoin pleb-dev.vercel.app. Copy link. Environment variables. I'm gonna add backend. Sweet, save that. Ooh, do these need to be next public? If I'm going to be accessing them, I don't think so. Is this what programming in TypeScript looks like? I'm actually not using TypeScript here. I should be. But if you're talking about the errors scrolling by, then definitely yes, that's what programming in TypeScript is like. I need to do a TypeScript workshop soon. TypeScript is how you go from actually you build your prototype idea and you actually get it to work with JavaScript or React or Next.js. And you're like, okay, cool. But now if you actually want to deliver it in any way that you trust, you rewrite it in TypeScript, or at least you rewrite the API in TypeScript, especially if you're dealing with payments or anything with Bitcoin. I mean, at least that's how I feel. Okay, I think I need to redeploy that after updating environment variable. So I'll do that, and then we'll try and hit our LNURL endpoint just kind of raw. Just gonna kind of hit it raw. And yeah, I'm gonna pull up Thunderhub as well so we can make sure my node is actually getting paid. Dashboards, Thunderhub, create dashboard. Cannot handle having types for anything bigger than 200 lines. Yeah, I mean, I get that, and I think a lot of projects, they bloat a bit too much. Their interfaces and their types, they bloat a bit much, but I think that like strictly typing things does actually force you to like break apart your data into small enough chunks that you can actually understand it, that makes sense. At least from an object-oriented like programming standpoint or whatever. But I agree, like in practice, it usually ends up being pretty bad once you get to a certain size. Okay, we're live. So, well, let's just visit it. Okay, so it renders. So our LNURL endpoint is going to be, let's go to Stack Overviews. Oh wait, I'm gonna open up Thunderhub first. Let's see if we can pay ourselves some Bitcoin. Okay, here's my node. I'm gonna go to transactions. Okay, cool. So we should see this update. So just copy this URL. So let's go withdraw. We're gonna withdraw to Lightning address. No, thank you, Albie. I don't want you. So our Lightning address is gonna be, at the moment, until I add my own custom domain, of course, is going to be Austin at bitcoinpleb-dev.vercel.app. Okay, let's try and send myself 100 sats. Do 2 sat fee because I'm cheap, and I've got a direct channel, so it should work. Let's see if this happens. Let's see if this works. Let's try and submit unexpected token, JSON position 0. Interesting. Let's look at our Vercel logs. Damn, I didn't get it on the first try. Damn. Okay. Let's see what we got here. So error, LND, request failed to status 500. Wow, that's a lot. Error fetching data. Blah, blah, blah. API LND. Okay, let's try and hit these endpoints ourselves. So I should be able to go to /API/callback/Austin. And this should give me an invoice. Amount not specified, of course. I have to put amount equals 1,000. So that's a millisatoshis. That should be a single sat invoice. It's trying. Okay. So it seems like we're struggling to connect to LND here. My serverless function is timed out. Okay, network. Should have gotten another log. Show me logs. This is at callback/host. Object null prototype. I wonder if this has to do with my middleware. Do I have cores? Okay, let's try to comment out our middleware. And lnd.js, host lnd macaroon. There's no middleware here. Let's try our lnurlp endpoint though. That should be the dot dash known /lnurlp/Austin. So this is actually the first endpoint that the wallet should hit. I wonder if I forgot like a slash or something, and that's. Ooh, I added a slash. Look at that. Bitcoin Plebdevs app //API. Oh, I didn't catch that. Okay. Dumbo mistake. That's all good though. We'll just fix this LND host. Oh, did I not get LND macaroon saved? That would also very much affect things if so. Get rid of that shit. Somehow lost that, so LND. Don't worry, it's just an invoice macaroon. Okay, save that, sweet. Did I push my changes? I think so. Yeah, it might not even have been the middleware. Let's try it now. Hit this one. Yeah, it looks like it's about to time out again. Yeah, 504. From LND request. I think I need to redeploy with my macaroon. Though I guess I would expect it to send another error code. Redeploy with a new cache. Yeah, so you can actually, without any kind of client app, you can write a really simple Flask, or I mean really almost any API framework, an Express API. It's just like a single or two single endpoints, and just deploy those on Vercel. And if you're running your own node and you're able to get macaroon from it, then it's really easy to set up a free Lightning address. What's up? So yeah, Vercel is super underrated, and especially right now where things like AWS getting way more expensive, Heroku's getting way more expensive. AWS just charge, like, I don't know if there's anything I could do in the world to like ever keep AWS from charging me still. Like, I'll get like 16 cents a month or something charged me, and it's like, I swear I've turned everything off. But yeah, Vercel is the homies. Okay, let's try it again. Jump over to the logs. Let's see if we can get our invoice. Sweet. Okay, we got an invoice from our node. That worked. Okay, so now I'm gonna try and go back and actually pay my Lightning address like I was trying before. So we've got this transaction. Let me see if I can just retry it. I'll do 4 sats because it's my channel. I'm the one collecting the fee anyway. Okay, pending 100 sats with 0 sats and routing fees. Very nice. And if I refresh Thunder Hub here, hopefully it hasn't expired. 100 sats paid 13 seconds ago. Okay, cool. So there we go. Lightning address in how much code was that? It's literally these 3 endpoints. This tiny one, this talks to your L&D node, LNURL P. This gives you the callback structure, and then callback, this fetches the invoice. This is the most complicated one, because here's where we like create the description hash, we pass it in, etc. Whatever. It's not that hard. Cool. So lightning address is done. Go back to my other view here. It's a little bigger. Sweet. Okay, so now that we have lightning address, I was going to add NIP05 as well. I mean, there's probably some way I need to display my lightning address somewhere, like go to my actual deployment. Somewhere at the top, or like contact, GitHub, LinkedIn, Twitter, log email. Yeah. Maybe I could have like a lightning button, because right now I have this dark mode, light mode button. Oh, that was slow. That was slow, okay. But honestly, do we want light mode? I don't think I want light mode. I don't think I want to take it. Okay, either way, lightning address working. Do I want to build a button for this right now? I kind of do. I could put it right here. It could be a little lightning button. Ooh, I'll do that another time. I'm gonna add NIP05 now. For Noster, NIP05. So I have a project where I've done this before. It is called My NIP5, which is supposed to read like My Nips. Like, I thought it was really funny. No one ended up getting it, but whatever. My NIP5. So this is like an example. I was talking about this earlier. Like the free stuff that you can get with Vercel. So this is an example where I built a simple Flask API endpoint just to resolve my Noster NIP05 kind of identity. And if you don't know what NIP05 is basically, it's I guess the equivalent of a blue check on Twitter, but for Noster. And it's just a domain that verifies that you're the controller of the pub key. So it's just like an extra layer of verification on like a Noster profile. So, you know, you don't just have to believe my profile, you can see my NIP05, which resolves to my personal website. So that's kind of the idea. I mean, I thought PGP keys were fine, but you know. But it's pretty simple here. So I'm basically gonna have an API structure. Similar to this, we're gonna have names, Noster alias, your Noster public key in hex format. So this will be Bitcoin Plebdev, and then my hex pub key, so not my inpub, and it's at .wellknown noster.json. Okay, cool. Man, I feel like I did this with my current portfolio, which is Next.js. Let me see if that's there. Bitcoin Plebdev. pages API slash noster. Ah, beautiful. So I can copy this exactly. You could also optionally put your relays in here, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to call this API slash noster. Folder noster. Nip 05.js. Boop. Just drop that right there. That looks right. And then once again, we're going to have another rewrite here. Yes. Oh, look at this. That's another way I did cores. Okay, so that's the rewrite. Got the endpoint. It's my pub key. We need to. I feel like I need to add cores to this in some kind of way. Let's try to uncomment out this cores middleware. Both these endpoints, and then I might as well use it on my noster endpoint. Add middleware back to ln address endpoints. Push. Okay, let's see how the deployments do. I kind of wonder how I'm going to test this. I mean, obviously I can like hit the endpoint manually, but I want to like try it on a client, but I'm actually already verified on many of my clients. This would be on mobile as well. Probably just going to hit the endpoint for now. It's a pretty simple spec, so hard to mess up, and if I did, I can check back in the future. Okay, let's try it. So this is /.well-known /master.json, I believe. Okay, names, Bitcoin Plebdev. Looks good, that looks right. So I'm going to fix this issue with the data, because I think my blog is broken on my deployment currently. Let's see. So if I go to work blog, amazing blog. No, it's here. What about resume? Resume is here. Seems to work. So what was that error I was getting in my builds? Deployments. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Attempted import error. Resume languages map is not. Pages/resume.js. it's like telling me it can't import it, but it is importing it and it's showing it. Ooh, I just realized something. Is this in dev mode? No, it's not. Development. That is not the case. Is there any other .env? No. Okay. Cool. Well, let's add our button. I want to add my lightning address button now. Computer.dev. Should be somewhere maybe on this index page where my taglines. Okay, I want to add it like right here below. What is that? Based in Austin, Texas. This is all coming from data. Header tagline 4. I'm gonna have lightning address. I'm actually gonna call it LUD 16. We're gonna be technically accurate with the spec here. So LUD 16 will be Austin at Bitcoin pleb.dev, which this isn't actually the domain I have set up at the moment, but that's what it will be. So under the taglines, under tagline 4, and then we got socials. So let's do one just like this. What is this? Ref text one. What is this ref for? I don't like that. Let's paste this, but we're going to turn it into a button. No ref. No ref needed. Button. Obviously, it's going to look terrible at first. Wait, this needs to be LUD 16. Oof. Okay. So, let's do text base, tablet text XL, this large XL, 2XL, with full laptop 4/5. Don't want that. So don't want to have width full here. I'm gonna have a sit to the left. Okay, that's better. And now I want to differentiate it a little bit, give it a little more of an outline. So currently, I don't really have any buttons in here. What is an example? I kind of want an example lightning address button. Lightning address button. Let's just see what we can find. Kind of like I'm seeing something in my head. example, CSS button. Just find something kind of rounded. Kind of like that. Sure. Some CSS. Call it .LUT16. Okay, so now I'm actually going to remove all of these styles and just call it LUT16. Let's see how that looks. Okay, a bit much. I might darken the color. I need to shift it over, and I want to add a lightning bolt emoji inside of the button. So I think I can just need to copy a lightning bolt emoji, I think. Can I do emojis from here? Can't. Lightning bolt emoji. Do it like that. Oh. Spacing there. Does that work? It kind of works. Okay. There's too much padding in the button. Gross padding 0.32 pixels. Do like 24. Do like 18. Okay, and we'll do. Actually, fuck, I'm gonna do 12. And I'm gonna do margin left, a few pixels to line it up. Just call it 2%. Should be good. Ooh, too much. 1%. That's too much too. Okay, we'll do pixels. 2 pixels. This is... Okay. Sweet. So I'm gonna darken this a little bit now. I can just take this color and just like drag it into a slightly darker realm. Okay. And I want to darken this color a little bit. Just drag it into, yeah, just a little bit of a darker realm. Okay, so I guess that looks fine. So now I want to have the ability to copy it to clipboard. And is there any kind of like component framework in here? So I have our next themes, React Date Picker, React Markdown. I want something like a popover, but that would take a lot of custom CSS. So let's think. Let's ask ChatGPT. Maybe that'll get us started. So normally I use a component library for stuff like this. So I have this button. I want it to copy the data dot 16 to the user's clipboard when clipped, and let them know it was copied with some kind of popover or something. Here is CSS. This is a Next.js app. Got my personal code tutor here, Sam Altman. Let's go, write my CSS for me. Copy to clipboard, so I'll build a function for that. Show copy confirmation. Use state. And this is all inside of home, yeah. State. Okay, here's our copy to clipboard functions. Let's see, navigator. Text 2 seconds, and we show the copy confirmation. Cool. So here's going to be our button and then our little confirmation message. And our CSS. Copy notification. Okay. See, I used to write shit like this from scratch. When I was starting out, I'd spend like 2 hours writing CSS, and it's just not worth it. Sometimes you have to. Sometimes you have to do something, but man, I already know I'm not gonna like this color. But let's see how this looks. I need this class name on my div. Oh, wow. Okay, interesting. Shows it in the top right. That kind of doesn't look terrible. It's kind of like a little toast. Does it actually copy it? It does. I kind of like that. Let's make the button smaller. Now that I'm looking at it, it's ugly. Color. Gotta do ghost white on these motherfuckers. Okay. Let's drop this padding down to like 4 pixels. Margin left, border radius. That's a little tight now, actually. 6 pixels. Box shadow. Margin left, color. Height. Drop the height a little bit. gonna darken the colors a tad more. Do like that. Yeah, and I can always just reverse this. If I don't like it, okay, that's all right. Okay, cool. There's my little lightning address button. Proof that it works. You can try it yourself. You know, I bet I could have Albie like open up and prompt you to pay. Damn, I wonder if I could do that. Window.webln. Let's check. Like basically open, if you have window.webln, it like opens it and tries to pay me. That'd be cool. So webln reference, webln.guide is the right one. So enable make invoice send payment async, webln.request. Oh, this is like requesting, okay, directly to your node. We've got a webln.ln URL. Request to execute an ln URL request. The ln URL function can also accept a LUT16 static identifier. Okay, that's cool. That's basically what I'm looking for. So, response method, ln URL auth, code example. So, enable webln.ln URL. What the heck? That's it? Can I do this in my copy to clipboard? Yeah, fuck it. Let's try it. So try copy it to your clipboard. Let's actually do this. If webln. Wait, this is on window. So this is supposed to be if window and window dot webln. And window .webln.url. That's a little bit gross, but we'll just make sure everything's here. So result, let's just console log result. I don't know what this result is supposed to be. Oh, I guess it told me the type on the docs, but I didn't read them. Didn't read, too long, didn't read, don't care. Give it to me in a YouTube short. You know, give me the docs in a YouTube short. Okay, let's try this. Boom, copy to clipboard, and Albie opens. I need to unlock. Do you all see my Albie window? Yeah. Pass. Goddamn. Connecting to an insecure domain. Request connect. I don't get it. What just happened? Wait, am I passing in? I'm not passing in anything. Pass in text. Okay. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Come on, do you exist? There you are. Did I break it? If window, oh wait, window.webln.enable. Wait, idiot. I need to say window.webln and then window. let's actually open up. Let's open up our console here. Ooh, I need to fix these images on mobile. I need to turn it into like a 2. Yeah, more like that when it gets smaller. That should be easy enough. Okay, let's see what we get. Failed. Valid. Oh, of course, because this isn't a valid Ellen URL yet. So I'm gonna hard code this to be Bitcoin plebdev at stacker.news. So that's my Stacker News Lightning address. So let's try it now. Okay, copy to clipboard. This opens up. Yeah, how much do you want to pay me? Okay. Cool. That's really cool. I'm stoked on that. That was a good idea. This isn't going away though. Copy to clipboard. I'm saying if hide confirmation after 2 seconds. If I'm gonna wrap this in no, it's already in a try catch. Let's do it like this. And it goes away. Okay, cool. And it should still be copied. Yes. Hell yeah. Let's push the latest and the greatest. I'm gonna have to get a job soon. I am unemployed. So the portfolio, sadly, part of that. Got portfolio, resume to update. Apply to a shit ton of jobs. But we'll see. I'm gonna do a lot of it on stream. Kind of cover some workshops and some smaller topics along the way. It's really hard to get developer job. Well, I should say it's really hard to get your first developer job. And I learned a lot when I was trying to do it. I was out of boot camp, and I basically applied to jobs for like 10 months straight. It was like 10 months or a year, something like that, before I got hired out of boot camp. I mean, which isn't like horrible, but like a year is a long ass time. Like I was coding that whole time. Just, I didn't have super high expectations, but you know, I really wanted to get a job. But either way, so I ended up applying to about 250 companies, I think, because I kept a spreadsheet. I should bust out that spreadsheet again. I kept a spreadsheet of every single company I was applying to, and it was about 250, 260 before I got my first job at a company called Forethought, which was like an AI company. And I think out of those 260 or so applications, I mean, I probably only got 10 to 12, maybe 15 responses. So it was rough. It was rough, but I mean, I learned a lot because like that whole time I would apply to like 2 jobs a day, maybe 2 or 3 jobs a day. And I would take them super seriously. I'd write a cover letter for almost every single one. But basically every single day I would just slightly improve my process and improve my resume and my portfolio, my whatever they call it, portfolio artifacts, shit like that. And I would just make it like 1% better every day. And it paid off eventually, but really like what paid off is all the knowledge I have now, because I have all this knowledge just like chunked into my brain. So I mean, what I'm hoping to do with this portfolio and like my updated resume is just kind of skip past all the bullshit and show everything that I want to show, and just like make myself in every pool of candidates like stand out really strongly. So it's hard. It's hard to do that, but yeah, I mean, I would love do some Q&A sometime, just like specifically on jobs, portfolios, resumes, stuff like that. I have a few pleb devs I'm talking to that are basically about ready to start applying, or at least start putting like all of their like whatever job materials together. So that'd be cool. I'll keep that in mind. Let's push all this latest. Okay. Push him. Added LED 16 button. Oops. Yeah, just add LED 16 button. Push. I wonder if I'm gonna still get these errors about the data though. I want to check about that real quick. Make sure it's pushed to GitHub. I see data is right here. It all should be accessible. Let's see if we still get that shit. It's just the formatting. Something with the formatting's wrong. It's no big deal though. It's still rendering. It's not crashing. It doesn't even seem to be throwing errors in the console when you visit the client or the website. Let's check it out one more time. See if it still works. Okay. Sweet. I know Albie's dead. Oh, okay, that worked. I know Albie's been struggling the last few days. Got a lot of new users. Okay, worked. Alright. Well, shit. That was a little quicker than I thought it'd be. But it feels like the stream setup is working well. My battery is not dying too fast here. I think it sounds good. So that's good. So now from here, probably going to be streaming 2-3 nights a week, and I'm going to have a workshop coming up this week, Bitcoin Core workshop, so look out for that. And we'll keep on going from here. So thanks if you visited the stream, and I'll see you again soon.